Welcome to the future, the year 2400 to be exact. There are crimes, chronicles of them, and we gotta solve them. Also, it would help if we could actually see, and we can't with these glasses on. So I'm gonna just set them off to the side so that we can play Chronicles of Crime in this episode of Table for One. Welcome to another episode of Table for One. My name is Paula Deming, and today we're playing Chronicles of Crime 2400, designed by David Securio and Wojciech Grajkowski, and published by Lucky Duck Games, who is a sponsor of today's episode. The writing for Chronicles of Crime 2400 is done by Karol Gorniak and Grzegorz A. Nowak. As we're playing Chronicles of Crime 2400, I'll of course be explaining everything I'm doing as I'm doing it, but if you'd like to know how to play before we dive in, make sure to check out Rodney's rules video for the Chronicles of Crime series. The year is 2400 and we are Kalia Lavelle. We've always wanted to follow in the footsteps of our famous crime-fighting ancestors, and so we joined the elite Belcorps forces. They turned us into a highly trained cyber agent, but turns out Belcorps kinda corrupt. So we turned in our badge and we left to start fighting crime on our own. Now, yes, they took most of our cybernetic implants, and yes, we live in kind of a crappy apartment now, and life is tough. But we're finally doing what we're always meant to do: fighting crime, protecting people who don't have a voice. So let's serve some justice and get into the game. Wish me luck. So for Chronicles of Crime 2400, of course, we have the app here that I've pulled up and opened, and we are going to be playing the case Underworld Rhapsody. Now this case has 3 scenarios in it, and we're just going to be playing the first one. So don't worry, if you want to play this game yourself, you'll have just this little intro into the storyline, and then you'll be able to dive into case number 2 and 3 on your own. There's also a 4th case included currently with the game called The End Game. And all of these are a little campaign, so you probably want to play them in order, but you don't have to. Along with the app, of course, we've got our evidence board here, which we'll end up filling out with characters we meet along the way and evidence we find. We also have our implant board. This is us right here, Kalia. And during our investigation, we might find cybernetic implants that we can install that could help us in our investigation. We'll also get to start the case with one of these, and when we start the story in the app, it'll tell us which one we get to start with. We also have our home location right here, and we also have a variety of other locations that we'll be able to go to during our investigations. Some of them are actually cyberspace locations. You can tell those because they have this gold border, and that's when you plug into the internet and go into cyberspace. So that should be pretty interesting. I'm actually, for now, going to set all of these off to the side so we have some room on our board. In Chronicles of Crime 2400, we also have a companion to help us as we investigate, this Cyber Raven. We'll be able to scan our Raven card to get basic information about people and evidence during our investigation, so it should come in handy. We also have our deck of character cards. We have our Cyber Implant deck. We have our Special Item deck, and we have our Evidence deck. So otherwise, we're pretty much ready to go here. So I think we'll fire up the app and get started with the story. So here's the intro to our story today. Underworld Rhapsody. Who was desperate enough to kill a watchman and risk Belcorps' wrath? How far does the corporate rule really reach? Find your way through the web of conspiracies entangling the dark heart of Paris. So, let's do it. Okay. Oh, I have to download this first. Cool. So first you just click the download button. That's great. Great. It's downloaded. And now we can click play. Okay, here we go. Day 1, it looks like it's about 40 minutes after midnight. We're at home. Our bioenergy is at 100. So certain things in our investigation are going to cost us time. Traveling to new locations, talking to people, and other things are going to cost us bioenergy, such as scanning cybernetic implants or using those implants. And we can always regain some of that energy by going to our home location and resting, but that costs us an hour of our time, and we have a limited amount of time to actually solve this case. So that resource management is something we're really really gonna need to be aware of as we play. So we're currently at home. Embers of red light blaze and fade on your display as the implant slots into place. We've got our cybernetic implant we get to start the game with. Sparks of electricity jump between your fingers, briefly illuminating the familiar dimness of your apartment. At last, you've made this old thing operational. This is cool. Or like, this says to take the cyber implant's zapper, which is number 4, and tomograph, number 3, and place them on your implant board. Ooh, we get 2. All right, so we're just going to find here. So this one's number 4 and this one's number 3. So these go on our implant board. Oh, look, because the numbers on the card line up with where they go on our board. So this is something for our arm. That's cool. And then number 3 will go here. This is for our shoulder. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Cyber implant zapper. That's this one. It's an offensive upgrade. It's not offensive. It's offensive. Slight difference. I'm so offended by your upgrade. It's an offensive upgrade capable of shutting down electronics, cybernetics, and robots. Scan it in interrogation mode to use it against the character you're talking to. Be careful. Sometimes such aggressive behavior may have negative consequences. People don't like to be scanned. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Okay, cyber implant tomograph. Here we go. It detects irregularities such as cybernetics or other unusual elements in characters at your location. So we can use this to figure out if somebody else has their own implants, maybe. Scan the tomograph card outside of interrogation mode and then scan a character card at the same location as you. Targets are usually unaware the tomograph is being used on them. So we can be a little more sneaky with that one. People won't really notice. But our other one, we might make some people mad if we use it. At that instant, your raven lets out an incoming message signal. Caw-caw, caw-caw. Probably, I don't know. It's from an old friend by the name of Louis Crozier, leader of a gang called the Scrappers. He seems desperate. Okay, so that's character card number 30. So we're gonna pull card 30 out of here. Here we go. Whoa. Wow, this is what he looks like? He begs you to meet him at a designated location in the scrapyard, which is location E. So now we know where he is. So we'll put him here. And just like in our Chronicles of Crime 1900 playthrough, which if you haven't watched, instead of putting our characters down below the locations just to save some space, I'm gonna put them up here on the location boards. It's a matter of life and death, he says. And you owe him a favor anyway, so whatever he needs, it might be a chance to make things even. You do one last equipment check, order the Raven to join you, and prepare to leave. Yo, Raven, come with us. Caw-caw! We could ask the Raven about this guy. I think I'd like to do that. Let's just test out how this Raven works. So I'm gonna scan the Raven and then I'm gonna scan our friend here and see what the Raven has to say. So I come over here and I scan. The Raven looks at you with its strangely intelligent eyes. Okay, now I'm gonna scan this person. So here's what our Raven has to say. Crozier, Lewis, known as the Scrap Lord, gang leader, numerous offenses on record. Caw-caw. So that's our Raven voice. We've established it now. Okay, we'll say goodbye to our Raven. So that's interesting. And now I guess we will travel to the scrapyard to meet up with Lewis. So we scan our location to travel there, and you can see now that we have spent time because it's now 1:05. Scrap and debris. You've arrived in a forgotten part of the city that still bears the scars of the old wars. The Belcourt Dome, shining in the distance, stands in stark contrast to this desolate place. You make your way through the ruins, noticing the only new objects here. Several shiny automated monitoring stations bristling with cameras. They look completely out of place amidst the surrounding decay. Finally, you reach the coordinates Louis? We're gonna call him Lewis. Finally, you reach the coordinates Louis Crozier gave you. You see him waiting next to a scene of slaughter. Oh my goodness, this just immediately went dark, didn't it? 2 dead bodies lie in the scrap. One looks like a ganger. With a start, you realize the other is wearing the uniform of a Bell Corps watchman. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so that's character 7 and character 1. So we're going to pull those out of our character decks. So character 1, this is the Bell Corps watchman. It's got a gnarly face. And then 7 is the one who looks like a ganger. I mean, I think he looks pretty cool. He looks like he's ready to party with his glow stick necklace. So I think before we do anything else, we should talk to Lewis here. I'd prefer better circumstances, but no lie, I'm glad you're here. He looks sort of like, he's probably just wearing a mask or whatever. He looks sort of robot-y, so that's the voice I'm giving him. It goes like this. We have a dead watchman on our hands. That means we have 24 hours at most before the watchmen notice and barge in guns blazing. They'll call it an investigation, but it'll be much worse. We all know how it works. No sane person would kill a watchman. Unless it was self-defense. I need you to find out what happened. Prove the watchman had it coming. We have some friends among the watchmen. Find Sergeant Fabron in Precinct PO9. He'll be able to help you. He'll know how to avoid escalation. Okay, so that is location A, which we're going to put right here. And then we'll pull out character card 3. Here we go. Fabron, Sergeant Fabron is at this location, so we'll just stick him there. So we should ask Lewis about these characters, I think, and then we should just look at them ourselves. So we're still talking to Lewis. So with him still showing in our app here, I'm gonna scan the watchman. He was a bad one, and he had this coming. The Bell Corps looks after its own. There will be an investigation, possibly a full crackdown, right after they declare him missing. You need to prevent this, you understand? What? No, why is this my job? I guess because, like I said, I wanted to fight crime and protect people. So I guess I've brought it on myself. So fine, cool, I'm in, I'm down. Go to Precinct PO9 and talk to Sergeant Nathan Fabron. He might be able to help. I think he might end up repeating himself to us again, so this might be a waste of time, but I want to see what he knows about this character here, our ganger. So I'm going to scan him. Not one of mine. Might be Corinne's man. If you ask me, the cop got him. Then someone else off the cop. Interesting. So Corinne is character card number 13. So we'll pull that out. Whoa, look at her. She's scary. Okay, we don't know where she is, so I'm just going to put her in our little purple character area for people who we don't have assigned to a location yet. I'm kind of scared to talk to her. Oh, we should search the scene. Of course we should. Now, the way this works in the game is we're going to slide this search the scene button, and it's going to bring up a whole scene that we're going to be able to see on our phone and look around, and we're going to find evidence. And then from there, we're going to pull out evidence cards and see if anything gives us clues. So we're going to do that now. Exciting. Okay, so I'm going to say search the scene. Okay, ready? Let's see. We have 40 seconds to look around and see what we spot. That looks like, what is that? Oh, a tool of some sort, maybe? We've got scrap. We've got camera, security system. Okay, here's one dead body. Okay, looks like gunshots, maybe. And then more scrap and trash. Blood. Where's the other? Is it behind us? Hold on. Oh yeah, what? Oh yeah. Okay, that looks like a gun maybe? And more footprint splatter. Oh wait, what's right by his foot? I don't know. So I'm gonna spend more time. I'm gonna look again because I think there's something by his feet and I can't tell what it is. So I'm gonna say we wanna look at it. Again. What is this? Shoes. Oh, shells. Wow, that's a lot of shells. Yeah, definitely splatter. Lots of splatter. What else? I feel like those feel like the important things. Okay. So guns, some sort of tool or ID card of some sort, it looks like there. Again, the security, shells. Lots of blood splatter. Okay. So I'm going to pull out all the evidence cards that I think match things we saw at the scene. I'm going to set them out, I'm going to scan them, and then I'm going to let you know which ones come back as clues. Okay, so these are all the cards I pulled out that I think I saw at the scene with the crime. Tools, because that one thing with like a card in it looked like it had a little like pliers, that's the word I'm looking for. There were definitely guns. There were some symbols painted on like the security camera stuff. I feel like there were some traces and some footprints maybe. There was definitely blood. There were the security cameras. I pulled screens and displays thinking it might have something to do with the security cameras, but I'm not 100% sure that will be anything. And then of course trash, we're in a trash heap. So let's scan these and see what comes up. This says, there's a lot of foot traffic in these parts. Scrappers are often on the move. So I think that's basically, this is nothing. There's a lot of blood here. But then again, this place is a gang war zone. No way of telling which samples are related to your case. Perhaps you need more precise equipment to find what you need. Interesting. Okay, we're gonna set this aside and see if maybe our cybernetic implants might help us here, or maybe we'll have to come back and try again. I'm not sure about that. Okay, photos and cameras. The object appears to be an automated surveillance station. It's offline. A piece seems to be missing. That is a clue. So this is telling us that we found a clue, so we're actually going to put this up here in our clue spot. That's exciting. Tools. A cheap disposable multi-tool lies next to the damaged surveillance station. That's maybe what they used to damage it. That's another clue. Put the tools up there. Screens and displays. The only thing resembling such an item is a Belcore monitoring station, which is number 19, which we've already pulled out. So screens and displays, it was kind of the same thing. Okay, firearms. The bullet cases lying on the ground come from an old type of firearm. The watchman appears unarmed. What you first take for a weapon is in fact some form of medical injector. Interesting, a medical injector. Huh. Okay, so that's clue number 8. So let's pull that out, or excuse me, item number 8. But I'm assuming it's gonna be a clue. Medicine and drugs. Okay, so the firearms, this is a clue. And then let's scan the medicine and drugs. It looks like an injector of some sort. New and advanced, but empty. That's interesting. Okay, I have a feeling this is gonna be like, yeah, of course there's trash. You're in a dump. But we'll scan it and see. Oh no, actually there is something, okay, hold on. Oh, I think we've already pulled these items out. We did, okay. Trash is scattered and piled all around you. However, among it, you notice a discarded multi-tool and an empty injector. Both look new. Okay, so that's actually what we've already spotted, tools and medicine and drugs, so. Okay, next, signs and symbols. Warning symbols prohibiting unauthorized tampering draw your attention toward a shiny monitoring station, which we did already find. All right. So I'm going to set aside all of this evidence that we saw that ended up not being clues, but that's pretty good. We got 4 clues out of that, and possibly maybe in the future we'll be able to figure out whose blood is whose there. So I'm just going to take these, I'm going to set them off to the side. So our tomograph detects irregularities such as cybernetics or other unusual elements in characters. Oh, it might be fun to scan our dead bodies with our tomograph and see if there's anything unusual about them. So first I'm going to scan our cybernetic implant here, the tomograph. The tomograph is ready to use. Scan a character you wish to examine more closely. Let's start with our ganger here. And you actually can see here, our bioenergy is down to 80 now. So that took 20 points of bioenergy to do. One thing is certain, he wasn't killed with the same weapon that the bullet casings came from. His wounds were made by some kind of directed energy weapon. Okay. Huh. Well, now we'll scan our watchman. His name tag reads Corporal Pierre Moreau. He has a single gunshot wound in the middle of his forehead. Yeah, it kind of feels like neither one of them had the gun, right? He wasn't killed by a gun, he was. But where is the gun? It's not at the scene. So it feels like if he had shot him and he had killed him, but he couldn't have killed him first because he got shot in the head. There's no way. Ooh. Trixie. So we know that he didn't die from gunshot, so any of the blood around wouldn't have been his, probably, because he was killed by an energy source of some sort. I'm going to scan the Raven and see if the Raven can tell us anything about blood and organs. No valid intel to give. Ah! Okay, so that was basically, the Raven couldn't tell us anything. You know what we could do, actually? We could ask Lewis about some of the things that we found, which might be worth doing before we go off to this other location. So I think we'll do that, and then we'll travel to talk to this sergeant. So I'm going to scan Lewis again, and then ask him about some of these clues that we found. So there's Lewis. Have you found anything yet? We don't have much time. I want to ask about the medicine and drugs. Let's see if he knows anything. Drugs, probably. A lot of people here use something or other. This one looks new, but we can't be sure it's even related to the case. I have a feeling he's not going to be very helpful, right? We're just going to possibly waste time. I'll ask him about the tools as well, and then if there's nothing good that we get from that, we'll probably just move on. Oh, actually, this is helpful. Okay, cool. A tool used to dismantle electronics. Ask the fixer in the Court of Miracles. She deals with stuff like this. Cool. Okay, so that's character number 26. Oh man, the character design in this game is so cool. And then the Court of Miracles is location L. So I'm going to find location L, which for the moment, I'm just going to put on top of our home. And we'll remember that our home is underneath there. Okay, and I'm going to put the fixer in there. So now I think we're going to say goodbye to Lewis, and we're going to go over to talk to the sergeant before we go talk to the fixer in the Court of Miracles. Here we are, Watchman Precinct P09. It is 2:55. On the very edge of what might be considered the city's good side, the White Tower of Precinct P09 overlooks the slums. You find your way to the correct section and approach the secretary's desk. This is where we used to work. Okay, so we're going to take out number 5, character 5. We'll put her right there. Eva Dubois reads her name tag. The secretary looks tired and busy as she looks up from her screen and listens to your request. Sergeant Fabron. Great. So you're his problem, not mine. Come on in. Cool, so she's obviously overworked and doesn't want to deal with us. That's fine as long as we get to talk to who we want to talk to. An event. Behind her, you see Sergeant Fabron, who has just finished talking to a colleague, a woman also wearing a watchman uniform. She notices you and discreetly beckons you to approach. Okay, so now we get to pull out character number 4. Interesting. Well, who do we talk to first? I guess she's the one who beckoned us to approach, so maybe we talk to her first. Okay, we're going to say goodbye to Eva, and then I'm going to scan this character card number 4 who beckoned us over. Hello, how may I help you? Oh, literally that's all she has to say to us. Okay, I'm going to say goodbye to her and just talk to Sergeant Fabron then, because she has nothing really to say to us. Okay, so instead I'm gonna be like, actually, I don't want to talk to you, I want to talk to him. So I'm going to scan him instead. Here we go. Luis told me about the problem. A dead watchman is a serious matter. But I owe him a favor, so yeah, I'll help you where I can. If you want to avoid the investigation, here's what you need. Okay, so this is where we find out exactly what we need to do, I think, to solve this. First, find reliable proof that our anonymous shooter killed Moreau in self-defense. A recording of the scene or something. I mean, we do have those cameras there, right? If we can get their footage, we should be able to see what happened. By itself, that isn't enough. The corp looks after its own, but only as long as they're loyal. You need to find something to prove Moreau was bad for Belcour. Misuse of resources, stealing from the company, that sort of thing. Those elements will help you keep the entire thing quiet. Of course, it would be better to get some real dirt on the corporation itself. Then you're almost guaranteed Belcour will silence the whole thing. But I don't think you're that lucky. I think I'm going to ask him about the cameras and see if he's like, oh yeah, you might be able to get security footage from that. And also, I wonder if he knows anything about the drugs. Okay, so let's ask him about one of our monitoring stations. Belcour has recently sponsored the construction of hundreds across the slums. It's not very nice. It seems like someone removed the memory core from this one. If you find it, you might have some real proof on your hands. I knew it! Okay, so this is actually a special item, which is what the star symbol means. So we are going to pull from this deck, our special item deck, card number 2. Memory core. We don't know where it is, so I'm going to put this on our evidence board right now in the blue area, which is exactly what we're being told to do here in the app. I'm gonna ask him about a bunch of things because he might have more information for us. So I'm gonna ask him about the tools as well. Basic multi-tool, no fingerprints. Commonly used to dismantle electronics. So that doesn't necessarily give us any good info. Let's ask him about the gun situation. Like, who would have that kind of a gun? I can't help you, officially. Normally we'd get this to the lab, but I can't give you access. Even if I could, for some reason the corporation blocked our accounts a few days back. So the lab is barely functional anyways. Why would the corporation do that? Is this an inside job? What you should do is log on to the Goblin Market and find Ariadne there. She'll assist you. I think that's a cyberspace location. Oh, that'll be cool. Okay, so that's location M, and Ariadne is there, character 32. So let's pull them out. Oh yeah, I'm gonna just put this on top of our junkyard here, location E, but we'll know that that's underneath. So yeah, we know this is cyberspace because it has this gold border on it. And then it was character 32, Ariadne. Cool, she's like a hologram. She's someone's like holographic avatar in cyberspace. So we'll wanna talk to her. Okay, so we have some sources of people we can go talk to. All right, and then I'm gonna ask him about the drugs. So it looks like Ariadne is our source for both of these things because he says, have you asked Ariadne yet? She should be able to help. I wonder if that's where we should go first before we go to, what was her name? The fixer? Should we ask her any questions? I'm going to ask her about the surveillance cameras just to see if it feels like she has anything helpful. I mean, the game gave us this character for a reason. But maybe it could also be like a red herring way to waste our time. It's already 3:15, so that's a thing. She says, hello, how can I help you? Before you can respond, a short burst of data forms a message on your display. It reads, my name is Jean Mercier. Don't trust anyone here. Some will just use the info you bring them to start a full force crackdown of the slums. It's definitely corrupt here. So, whatever Fabron says, bring the proof you find to me, not him. Do you understand? She winks at you and smiles. I'm Sergeant Mercier, by the way, she says. Call me Jean. Who can be trusted? So we were like, hi, and she sent us like a text message and was like, don't trust him, trust me, hee hee hee. But on the surface, she's like, oh, hi, what? Well, how can I help you? Sneaky. Oh, I don't know who to trust. Well, let's just see what she has to say about any of these things. She says, drug use in more impoverished districts is, regrettably, rampant. If you present this to Sergeant Fabron, he will relay you to a specialist who can provide assistance. Okay, and that is Ariadne. Okay, so we have that. So there's probably not a whole lot more she can say to us about this stuff. I think they're gonna tell us the same things. Or maybe we can ask her about this memory core. Hold on. Oh, if you manage to find it, that may as well be your case solved. Looks like a good thing to concentrate on. So we need to figure out where that is, but we don't know where it is. Should we use let's use some of our bioenergy and scan them. See if we can get any information. That's what I'd like to do. Okay, so we're gonna say goodbye. And I'm gonna activate my tomograph, which is ready to use. And then we're going to scan Fabron and examine them more closely. Readings from the tomograph indicate high stress levels. Okay, what do they say about her? Oh my gosh, our bioenergy is so low now. This says the tomograph finds a data transmitter device implanted in her skull. That must be what she used to contact you when you first met. Okay, so we don't have a ton of bioenergy, which means at some point we're gonna need to probably go home and rest to recharge it. Okay, we're gonna leave here and we are gonna go to Ariadne first before we go to the Court of Miracles. So we're gonna go into cyberspace. But we have to be careful. So when you go into cyberspace, your mind goes into like virtual reality, the net, but your body stays where it is. And bad things can happen to you if you stay in there too long. So we wanna do this, but I wanna be as efficient as we can be so that we don't accidentally like come back to like dead bodies all around us or something, I don't know. So let's scan this location to go into cyberspace. Do you want to enter cyberspace? Yes. Oh my gosh, that took bioenergy too. Yeah, we definitely are gonna need to rest. Cause y'all, we only have bioenergy of 20 left and we started at 100. We've used a lot of it. As you log onto the net, the real world around you disappears, replaced by vivid colors of virtual reality. We are now in the Goblin Market chat room. A digital landscape surrounds you. Strange creatures skulk in odd corners, appearing and disappearing as they visit private subchannels. Drugs? Asks the small owl avatar. I don't want drugs. Okay, this is character number 31. So anyone can have any kind of avatar in cyberspace. You don't know if who you're talking to is who they say they are. So you have to be really careful when you're in here, just like on the real internet. Little owl. A robot owl. I am gonna pass on the drugs, but we do, though they might be interesting to talk to about the drugs that we found, but we're gonna talk to Ariadne about that first. You spot Ariadne's ID as she sends you a greeting from across the room. All right, well, let's talk to her first. Nathan Fabron told me you'd be coming. My name's Ariadne. I assist the Watchman. I can help with analysis of any chemicals or electronics you might encounter. You know what? You need some tech. I have a box hidden in the Court of Miracles. Here are the coordinates. Oh, we were already planning to go there, so this works well. I'll leave some useful equipment there for you. Feel free to use it for the duration of this case. We're gonna get more implants and use up all of our cyber energy, but it's fine. It's called the Sniffer, a construction of my own design. It should be compatible with your frame and might pick up some details at the scene that your senses miss. Ooh, that's cool. Do I have some kind of hidden agenda? No. I just like giving away advanced technology. Of course I have an agenda. There are bigger matters at work, and you're worth much more as a friend than an obstacle. Do you want my help or not? I mean, yeah, okay, I'll take it. Like, I'll take the cool gear that you're giving me for free. Why not? Why not? Okay, so we want to ask her about the firearms. Now that's interesting. The casings themselves are easily identified as something the fixer, Belle Duclair, would sell. Now we have more reason to talk to her. It's a slummer weapon, but these contain traces of something more advanced. The plot thickens. Okay, we're gonna ask her about the drugs. Have you scanned the crime scene yet? What, with the sniffer thing? No? Like, huh. So she doesn't want to tell us about the drugs until we've used probably the sniffer thing at the crime scene, I guess? I'm gonna ask her about the memory core. Watchmen will start the tracking and retrieval of this core as soon as an investigation starts. If you find it before then, it would probably provide some very useful intel about your case. It'll be encrypted, but I can help with that. So we need to find it before... Okay. Once we found it, we can bring it to her and she'll help us figure it out. So that's good to know. I'm gonna ask her about the tools. No traces of anything worthwhile. Finding whoever sold it might be more productive. I'm gonna ask her about this owl. Whoa, creepy, faceless. Oh, I don't like it. Oh, that's one of the faceless's bots. They turn up on many public channels. It sells drugs. No one seems to mind. It can be used to contact the faceless himself, if he deems you interesting enough. So that's character number 33. So that sounds like something we might need to do, but I don't know that we need to do it right now. Put him in cyberspace. Oh, creepy. That's probably all that's worth saying to her at this point. And then I think we go to the Court of Miracles. We get the tool she left us there. We talk to the fixer. We deal with that. Maybe we go back to the crime scene and scan it, and then we bring her more information. That's I think the soft plan at this point. Ooh, and I'm gonna need to rest. I'm gonna have to rest in between going to the Court of Miracles and going to the scene. We're gonna exit cyberspace. Do you want to leave cyberspace and return to the physical location where you logged on? Yes, I do. And hopefully nothing horrible is waiting for me when I wake up. Oh yeah, we're back in the Watchman Precinct P09. The clean, white environment feels oddly uncomfortable after the time you spent in the neon twilight. You see Eva Dubois sitting behind her desk. She's very preoccupied with her work. Some distance behind her, you notice Officers Fabron and Mercier. Okay, so now I think we just go to the Court of Miracles and see what's up there. So we're going to scan that location. In the shadow of the old cathedral, a peculiar market has grown. Bright lights and strange smells assault your augmented senses as all manner of strange and forbidden dealings happen around you. Intriguing. You find the shack that Belle Duclair, the fixer, calls her shop. The location of Ariadne's lockbox blinks on your display. The object is well hidden behind piles of scrap, but you find it without any problem. It quickly confirms your biometrics and unlocks. We're going to get the sniffer. Inside, you find the implant Ariadne is lending you. It's of modular design and slots easily into your ports. A moment after you do so, blinking indicators on your display confirm the implant is ready to use. So let's pull that out. That's number 1 here. Oh, cool. So look, we go from having nothing over our eye, so now we have this little loop over this little eyepiece. Event. You have received a new cyber implant, the sniffer. Use it at any location where you can search the scene. Scan the sniffer card before searching the scene to highlight details that might be impossible to detect with the naked eye. Oh, that's what's going to help us with this blood and organs bit. Oh, that's going to be so cool to use. Okay, but before we go off and do that, I want to talk to the fixer. So we are going to scan her card. The name's Belle, but they call me the fixer. I've heard about you and what you do. It'll be a pleasure doing business with someone of your reputation. Well, thank you. I do like to help the little people, solve crime, serve justice. Okay, so I'm gonna ask her, you know what? I'm gonna ask her about the memory core. It can be decoded if you find it. I'd very much prefer if you didn't ask me to perform the task. It's dangerous as hell. These things are easily tracked and Belcour doesn't like people digging into their property. That's okay, because we're gonna have Ariadne do it, so that's fine. Ooh, I'm gonna ask her about the tools and the firearms, I think. Ooh, okay. So for the tools, she says, yeah, I sell those. Good for dismantling electronics. Cheap, disposable. I've sold several in the last few days. I'm gonna ask her if she knows if she sold one to either of our dead bodies. So I'm gonna move our cyberspace down so I can get to these characters again. I'm gonna ask her if she knows either of these two guys, because maybe she sold a tool to one of them. Oh, she knows the Watchman. Oh, I know that one. He's dead? He had it coming, honestly. Watchmen don't usually come here, and for good reason. No wonder he got himself shot. Dark world. She knows him, but she doesn't say she sold him the thing. Okay, I'll ask her about this other guy first, though. Queen Corinne's man. So he got himself killed. This is Corinne. We gotta find, she's gonna be able to tell us something maybe she can help us find the core, the memory core once we find her. We just don't know where she is. Okay, I'm gonna ask the fixer about Corinne. So we're gonna scan that card. Maybe she'll tell us a location. Oh, nice. We did get a location. This is awesome. She rules the wilds with an iron fist. I trade with her from time to time. Do you want her coordinates? Here you go. Don't get yourself shot. So that's location D. I'm gonna put this right over cyberspace for the moment, and we're gonna put Corinne on in there. Now I'm gonna ask her about the firearms. An old type of ammo. Few folks here can afford caseless guns. I might have sold those, hard to tell for sure. What you might want to know is that Queen Corinne's gang buys them in bulk. Yeah, we definitely gotta go talk to her. Okay, so we're gonna say goodbye. And then I think we need to go home to rest, because here's the thing. We only have 20 bioenergy left. We've recharged here now. which is great. It took an hour of time, but we're back up to 100 bioenergy, which is really going to help us. Okay, I want to go back to the scrapyard. Louis Crozier is standing guard surveying the area. You notice several of his armed scrappers hiding in the shadows, but they fade from sight as soon as you look at them. The bodies are where you left them. Okay, so now I think we should search the scene, but first we definitely want to activate our sniffer. So I'm going to scan that. The sniffer activates. Highlighted outlines and data feeds flood your senses, like Geordie LaForge in Star Trek The Next Generation is what I'm imagining now. You should now search the scene again. We will do it. So let's see what we have here. Oh, what's this? Oh, okay, clue number. Okay, so clue 21, has to do with the, like the drug injector thing, I think. Okay, and clue number 5 there at the video thing. And number 1, okay, that's just the identity of that guy, of our guard or whatever. What else? I don't see anything down here. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, so new clue, yeah, 5 and 21, I guess. Okay. You locate and collect a previously unnoticed fresh blood sample from the monitoring station. It's unlikely that it came from either of the dead men. Interesting. Put that on our evidence board. A nanobot trace. You perform a quick scan and collect a sample from the cluster of nanobots picked up by the sniffer. Okay, now we're going to cyberspace so we can show all this new stuff to Ariadna. So I definitely want to ask her about the blood and organs, so we're going to scan that. It doesn't belong to either of the dead men. It might belong to the killer or the person who stole the component. Just let me run it through the system. And here we go. It belongs to one Philippe Aziz, known as Lil Phil. Gang member, but young. You might want to find him. A very likely suspect, all things considered. So we don't know where Lil Phil is, so we've just put our character here in the purple area, because we know he exists, and we probably want to find him. Okay, now I definitely want to ask her about the nanobots, so we'll scan the cybernetics card. You don't see something like this every day. It's basically the next step in drug evolution, performance-wise. Works straight on your brain, increases physical capabilities. But, more curiously, the bots don't disappear for a long time after use. With proper equipment, anyone who injects them is trackable. Don't you wonder where people on the street are getting this tech? I want to try to talk to the faceless. What if we just scan him? Asking in open channels doesn't yield any results. So, yeah. So scanning the faceless didn't just let us talk to him. At some point, he's going to be interested in us and we're going to be able to talk to him. I just don't know when. Okay, so we're out of cyberspace, back in the scrapyard. I want to leave the scrapyard and go to where Queen Corinne is, because I think she's going to have a lot of answers for us. So we're going to scan this location. This part of town is a labyrinth of old blocks. A series of gunshots sound in the distance. Be on your guard. It's not a very safe place. As you find the ramshackle camp, armed gangers escort you before their queen. She sits on a throne welded together from several destroyed combat drones. On her right hand sits a heavily armed man who turns a vacant stare toward you. Okay, so let's pull this out. That's character card number 14, who's there with Queen Corinne. And they aren't kidding when they call her queen. She sits in a throne of combat drones. That's pretty hardcore. 14. Whoa. Okay, he's kind of scary looking. Like, what? Okay, so this scary person says, "We evolve." Okay, fine. You evolve. Weird. Can I ask him about Queen Corinne? Y'all, this guy. The queen! The queen! He's basically a cruel boy. What in the world? Does he know anything about our dead ganger, who I guess was part of their... This guy's creeping me out. A fallen brother. No evolution for the dead. Okay, cool. Bye. I want to scan him with my tomograph. First, we need to scan the tomograph. And then we scan him and see what comes up, because he's weird. Okay, our bioenergy is down to 40, and it says, combat augmentations, reflex boosters. This man is a monster. The strange glow of nanobots course through his system. Nanobots, that's the cybernetics. Well, what does that have to do with, can we ask him about hold on, I'm gonna talk to him. And then I'm gonna see what he says when I ask him about the cybernetics. Icarus! Icarus descends! Who's Icarus? Okay, so that's special card number 1. So we're gonna pull that out. Weird, what in the world? So you found a clue. Special item number 1, Icarus, yes, yes, yes. Okay, I'm gonna ask him about this, and then I don't know what he'll say, but maybe he'll say something about the memory core. Icarus! Icarus descends, we evolve, we become the apex. He's weird. He's weird. Okay, that tells me nothing. But what about, he probably is gonna say nonsense. Oh, this might be a red herring, but like, is he the killer? Because he just said, no knowledge to burden oneself, purity and violence is what he just said. I mean, that's highly suspicious, right? But is it too suspicious? The game wants us to think it's him, but really it wasn't. Okay, well, I'm gonna say goodbye to him. Queen Corinne, here we go. Don't make me regret tolerating your presence. What do you want? Did Dai Lung send you to apologize for his failure? Who's Dai Lung? We don't know who that is. But it's person number 11, so we're about to find out. Who? I'm sorry? Useless worm. He oversees the flow of goods from the faceless to me. He failed to secure our last meeting properly, and now I've lost both Fayed and my package. Oh yes, Fayed is, if that's how we say his name, is our dead ganger. Oh, he's the connection to the Faceless. Okay, that's interesting. I can't have him killed, sadly. Faceless deems him important. But what I would give to see him humiliated. Well, talk to us about this guy. Maybe he was mine, maybe not. Why would I tell you? Why would she tell us? Should we zap her? No, she's not gonna like that. So I think now I want to ask Queen Corinne about the Watchman that we found and see if maybe she recognizes him or is willing to tell us if she knows him or knows what he was up to. Oh no, she does not know him. You're wasting my time. Careful doing that. Don't like that. Okay. Oof. Let's ask her about what's the deal with this guy. Nope, she thinks that's a waste of her time too. And what about Icarus project? No, she's mad. She's getting mad at us now. Okay. Oh, she doesn't seem so I scanned the memory core. She doesn't seem to know anything. She says, would a recording of a shootout really change much? They watch us kill each other all the time. This is quite the dystopia that we exist in here in 2400. I'm gonna activate my tomograph one more time and see if it tells me anything about her. So we're gonna do tomograph, and then I want to scan Corinne. There are enough enhancements running through her body to kill you several different ways in a single heartbeat. Tread carefully. So maybe we don't want to zap her to intimidate her because, yeah. Oh, y'all. Okay. We need to locate these people and I don't know how to do that. Oh, did we ask her about him, Phil? Let's do that actually. So I'm going to rescan her. And then I'm going to scan Lil Phil. Okay. Yeah, he's one of mine. A good kid. He can manage. There's no need for you to meet him. The Watchmen don't even know he exists. If they did, well, then he would be in danger. And that would change things. What if they do know he exists, actually? What if I'm like, hey, they have his blood. It's Phil's. Not unusual for us to bleed. But how do I get her to see that, like, they know? What if I scan Ariadna? This might just be a waste of time, but let's see. It literally is. She tells me I'm wasting her time. Okay, I'm gonna say goodbye. And then I'm gonna go into cyberspace one more time, see if I can use my knowledge of this guy to get the attention of the faceless. And then I think I might go back to the sergeants and maybe to Jean and give her some information. We've got to find this person because I think that's how we're gonna find all this other stuff. I wonder what the crow, do you think our crow, hold on, I mean, our raven. I'm so sorry, Raven, I keep calling you a crow. I'm gonna scan our raven and see if our raven can tell us anything about Icarus or whatever. So let's say Icarus. Cross-reference, combat drugs, disappearances, data streaming from monitoring stations, high correlation. Okay. I mean, nothing really like new. They don't know anything about the memory core. All right. Back to cyberspace. We're spending a lot of time in cyberspace. We're trolling the net. We're scanning the waves. No, none of that. None of that means anything. Oh my gosh, we have no more bioenergy. Bioenergy 0. I am going to talk to Owl and scan, Lung. Hi, Owl. Now tell me about information cannot be disclosed about employees. What if I ask him about the Icarus thing? Oh my gosh, that worked! You are being given access to a private line. Please hold until Mr. Faceless becomes available. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I thought of that! Faceless's avatar manifests next to you. His featureless visage turns towards you in a silent greeting. Creepy. Okay, so we're gonna scan him and see what he has to say. So, you have found me. Or at least, I allowed you to find me. I've been following your current assignment with great interest, and I might be willing to offer some assistance. Ooh, a break in the case, yes! Okay, I'm gonna ask him about the Icarus thing, I guess. As you seem rather well informed on the matter already, Belcor started supplying us with the next generation of combat stimulants. For an extremely low price, I might add. Obviously, it was some form of test run, but we're not here to look a gift horse in the mouth. Belcor. Shady? We made a huge amount of money selling to gangers involved in street wars. However, questions are now being asked. Your case, for example, has drawn attention we were frankly not prepared for. My organization is pulling out of the deal. Belcor's gonna be mad. Why? Partly because Belcor failed to divulge the nanobots. The nanobots in an Icarus user's bloodstream can be tracked by certain tools, such as the newly built network of monitoring stations. The one that got destroyed. Does he know about the memory core? No, I have to find it. I think we're only going to find out about the memory core when we find this guy. Oh no! Suddenly, the lights of the goblin market fade as your consciousness is ripped out of the net and back into your physical body. Shots pierce the air. Close. Too close for comfort. The wilds are not a place to close your eyes for long periods of time. I forgot that we plugged into cyberspace from the wild, so that was a mistake. Years of training have rendered your senses sharp, even through the haze of the net. But you know you shouldn't make yourself vulnerable in dangerous places. You notice her bodyguard, T-Rave, is gone. So he's not here anymore. So we're going to remove him and put him over here in our purple area. So her bodyguard is gone. Should we? Oh, shoot. We don't have any energy to be able to zap her with our stuff to get her to talk. Oh, I'm so frustrated. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go home. We're going to get more bioenergy. We're going to see if we can talk more to the Faceless in cyberspace, and then we're going to go back here and see if we can zap her to get her to talk to us. But we just can't right now because I don't have the bioenergy to spend on it. I'm worried that we're missing opportunities. Okay, so now we're home, and we are going to recharge. It takes an hour. Oh my gosh, the day. It's 11:10 now. No, it's 12:10 now because the hour. We receive a message from Watch Sergeant Mercier. Oh my gosh, so much is happening. I hope you're making some progress. Some people are starting to worry. You don't have much time before they start looking for Moreau. Uh-oh. Oh my gosh, y'all. Okay, well, while we're here, we're gonna go into cyberspace. Yes, I want to enter cyberspace. Oh, I'm so nervous. Okay. Can we talk to him now, or that our call ended, right? Let me try and scan him and see if he'll just show up again. Okay, yes, good. He's still here waiting for us, so that's good. We didn't lose too much on that. So we were asking him about, we're gonna ask him about Lung, a valued employee. Okay, well, that's not helpful though. Okay, well, I wonder if he knows anything about this guy. The kid? You say he'd be useful. I can make him meet you, you know. Done. He's waiting for you in the Court of Miracles. Well, that was handy, wasn't it? We should probably talk to him. Well, now, because I was going to try and pressure her into revealing where he was, but maybe we don't need to now, which is handy. Is there anything else we want to talk to Faceless about? I don't think so. I think that's good. I think that's enough. Okay, I'm going to say goodbye. Okay, so we might go back to the wilds, but first we got to talk to this kid. So we're going to back to the Court of Miracles. Let me rearrange things here. I'll scan that location. You're back in the neon glow of the Court of Miracles. Belle's shop is nearby. A boy, a ganger by his looks, approaches. You recognize Lil Phil. He's holding an electronic device of some kind and is visibly frightened. Oh, I feel bad for him. I'm not gonna hurt you, I don't think. Yo, you found me. Turn off this thing for me. What thing? Does he have a tracking device and he's worried about it? He shows you the device he's holding. It's the memory core. Yes, this has worked out way better than I could have possibly imagined, frankly. So let's talk. Okay, so we're talking to him and let's ask him about the memory core. Yes, this exact core, yo, turn it off. Turn it off? What exactly does he mean, turn it off? Let's ask him about the dead bodies. Let's see if he knows anything. First, we're gonna ask him about Fayed. Oh, wow. Okay, so he's not going to tell us anything until this memory core is done because he says, yo, they told me this core can be tracked. Turn it off or whatever. I'm freaking out. Can I turn it off? Maybe my tomograph will tell me something? I don't know that it will. I'm worried I'm going to waste energy. Oh, this is only for a character. I don't think I can actually use this on this. Yeah, but I might be able to on him and maybe it'll tell me something. Okay, so the tomograph says his biometrics show high levels of stress. He has no injuries except for a cut on his palm, which is how we left the blood on the surveillance system. So I'm actually wondering if I can use my zapper on this to make it stop. So I'm gonna see if it'll let me do that. So I'm gonna scan the zapper. I can only use it in interrogation mode. I don't want to zap him. I'm really nervous. I'm going to accidentally zap him. Oh, okay. I think it worked. You touch the core he's holding and a precise application of electrical impulses disable all its active functions. I was so scared I was going to accidentally zap him and make him not want to talk to us, but it worked. Okay. I'm glad we remembered that we could do that with this. He calms down a bit and hands you the missing memory core. Finally. Okay, so now this can go into our clues. I'm gonna put it right there. Now maybe he'll talk to us. Okay, so now let's ask him about people. Yo, he straight up died during that deal. Okay, but what deal? I'm gonna ask him so many questions. What about this? What was going on? This guy, yo, he tried to shoot us, so Marie shot him. It was self-defense. She took this drug thing, healed instantly. It was crazy. Who's Marie? Okay, he says it was self-defense. And the memory core is going to help us because that's going to have the video of it. Okay, so character number 9 we need to pull out. We'll put her right here. Interesting. Well, who's Marie? Okay, well, talk to me about Marie. So we met some hours back, right? She had this Icarus package from my boss, already paid for. But we were attacked, and now Fayed is dead. Marie took that Icarus thing herself, killed the cop, and went into hiding. I have her contact on my phone. Here, take this. I was gonna throw it out anyway so the watchman can't track me. You could probably locate her through it. Ooh, item number 15. There we go. Communication devices. This is Lil Phil's phone. Okay, so I think now we say goodbye and we use his phone to try and find her. And then from there, we see if we can get Ariadne to figure out the memory core for us. And then hopefully we'll have the information we need to go and present it to, I think, Jean over Maybe I should actually ask Lewis about both of them. Okay, quickly, we're gonna run back over to the scene of the crime and ask Lewis about, I just wanna know which one of these sergeants I can trust, if I can trust any of them. Okay, so I'm gonna ask about her. Okay, so he says, she seems solid, but I haven't dealt with her enough to fully vouch for her. Fabron trusts her. Be careful with those corporate people. It's interesting that Fabron trusts her, but she doesn't seem to trust him. Okay. All right, thanks, Lewis. That's all I needed to know. I am now going to see if we can use the cell phone to find Marie. So I'm going to spend some bioenergy and we're going to go into cyberspace and see if Ariadne can run a bunch of this new stuff that we have now. We've got the memory core, we've got the phone. We're going to plug into the net. Okay, but I want to talk to Ariadne. I would like you to please help me with this phone. You say you need to track one Marie Pascal through this phone's connection history. Sounds difficult. Not. All done. She's in the Underdome Den. I'm pinging you her exact position. Thank you. And we're going to leave now. I know we need to figure out the memory core thing, but I want to talk to Marie first. So we're just going to go and do that. Oh, I mean, maybe that's a bad idea. Shoot. I'm gonna use up all my energy. I should have probably just asked about it while I was in there. Well, it's too late now. We can't go back. Okay, our new location, right here. And we know that Marie is there. So let's travel there. Situated right below the Belcourt Dome, this underground shantytown is a good reminder that the future, as bright as it may be, is not evenly distributed. A poor place where drugs and illegal VR chambers provide the closest thing to joy that most locals will ever know. People scurry away as you approach, except for one junkie who throws you a friendly greeting. That's interesting. Okay, so character 10. All right. Should we say hi to the junkie? Not that we have time for this, but I kind of feel like we should. He said hi to us. Welcome to our humble domain. How can I be of service? Well, that's an interesting greeting. Hey, what do you know about this Marie character? Oh, Marie. She's a frequent visitor here whenever Croget lets her have a little spare time. That is Lewis. That's why I know that name. She must be a scrapper. Thanks, Tom. That's interesting. All right, let's talk to Marie. Who are you? Who the hell sent you, and what do you want? The laser emitter pointed at you looks dangerous, but her hands are shaking. She's scared. Hey, yeah. Talk to me about this memory core. You expect me to just talk? Who sent you? What do you want? Oh, we should tell her about, that we know Lewis. So let me pull that out, his card out, so that we can scan it. I'm gonna say, hey, we know Lewis. I know who you are, then. She lowers her weapon. Can you really help me? Oh, I'm so glad we talked to this guy, because if we hadn't, we would not have known how to get her to talk to us. That makes me really happy. Okay. I'm so glad we took the time to do that. We've got the memory core. Yes, if you show this to the Watchmen, they'll know I was only defending myself. Okay, but what about, the drugs? Icarus, it makes you invincible. Okay, what about the guns? Oh, there was a lot of shooting. The cop was shooting at us. Fayed was trying to fight back. The kid was smarter than us. He never got noticed in the first place. Well, what were y'all doing there, though? That's really what I want to know. Who sent you? Was it the faceless man? Never seen him. We work for him sometimes, like when all this happened. Oh, so they were working for the faceless man. That's how he's we're getting out and I'm going to send people to dismantle the surveillance stuff so that they can't track us because of, oh yeah, okay. So the faceless man is the one who organized all of this, I think. So what happened? Wait, how did Fayed die? He got zapped by something that the watchman had. I'm gonna ask about him. He came with a friend, barely a kid. That's Philippe. I saw Luke die, but the kid took cover. That's when I knew I had no choice. Icarus. It's incredible. Oh, and that's when she shot herself up with the Icarus to heal herself because she had gotten shot. I think we know what's happened. I think we have the proof we need. Does she know about this guy? Now, some of these characters might not be super important in this particular case, but remember, this is the first part of a 3-part mini campaign. So certain things are being established here that are not going to necessarily pay off in this story, but when you play parts 2 and 3 on your own, that's when some of these characters I think are going to come back into play and be more important. So we might not have anything to do anymore with Queen Corinne or Lung in this case, but that might come up in case number 2. I think we're ready. I'm going to go into cyberspace. Can I do that safely here? And let Ariadne know we've got the memory core. Let's try it. Let's be risky. I don't know if this is necessarily a safe place to do it, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so I'm going to go into cyberspace. I do want to enter cyberspace. Okay, that's all of our bioenergy. Ooh, you receive a message from Ariadne. It reads simply, I need to talk to you. Good, because I need to talk to you too. Okay, let's scan her. You're here. Good. There's no point in subtlety anymore. Not sure if you've noticed, but people have started disappearing. People related to your case. I need to tell you all I know about Belcor's involvement in all of this. Wait, is that like why the bodyguard is gone now? That's the only one I noticed disappearing, but we haven't gone back to the crime scene in a little while. Weird. Okay, we need to pull out special card number 4. Okay, so that's that. Belcor. Okay, well, tell me about Belcor. I can just as well tell you the truth. I'm a Belcor employee. I've stumbled upon some, let's say, extremely worrying activities on their part. Yeah, me too, that's why I quit. Human testing, stoking the gang wars, misuse of surveillance data, all done under a common word, Icarus. I can tell you much more about Icarus. Great, do it. Belcor began providing the Faceless with his organization and new nanobot-based stems dubbed Icarus, which we knew. Faceless, being a man who favors profit, took the bait, of course. He started distribution. The new stems turned fighting gangsters into nigh invincible beings, so their popularity grew. Concurrently, Belcor sponsored a network of automatic monitoring stations in the poorer districts of the city. They claimed it to be for citizen safety. But it was all a lie. The primary function of said stations is to gather intel on Icarus users, because, you see, Icarus is trackable. Belcor, if they choose to do so, knows exact position of everyone who's used the drug recently. That's how they're taking... Oh, she's gonna be gone. I wonder if she'll be disappeared when we come back from cyberspace. That would be so bad. Trackable combat stims? I assume we're seeing a large-scale field test, because the military applications of this are obvious. Okay, well, I have the memory core. Okay, Ariadne, here we go. You found it. Give me a moment. I'll run this through decryption for you. First of all, it's important you know this thing gathers a lot more data than a simple camera station should. Second of all, here's your relevant recording. You see the scene from the scrapyard unfurl before you. A man and a young girl, both looking like gang members, are involved in a transaction of some sort. A boy watches from a safe distance, apparently accompanying one of them. So they're having a transaction with between the two of them, and he's with... Yeah, all right, okay. The picture's starting to be painted clearly. Suddenly, a watchman barges into view, shooting a laser gun on full auto. The male ganger returns fire, while the girl hides behind nearby wreckage. The boy disappears from view. The ganger is shot several times and dies. The watchman, screaming and shooting blindly, advances toward the girl's hiding spot. Moving impossibly fast, the girl dashes out from cover, aiming her own gun. She receives a grazing hit, but the wound instantly regenerates without bleeding because she used Icarus. The watchman stops, shocked, while she fires a single shot. It hits him in the middle of the forehead, and he collapses. The girl looks around in panic. She crouches by the dead watchman and picks up his gun. Then she runs away, leaving the dead bodies behind her. Okay, that's what she had. She was pointing it at us. Okay, yep. The boy re-enters view. He checks the ganger's pulse. Then he goes through the dead officer's pockets and finally approaches the camera. Using a disposable multi-tool, he removes the front panel. At one point, he appears to cut his hand on a sharp edge. In the final seconds of footage, he disables the station and the recording stops. Cool! That was my little reenactment. I'm just going to put everything back now. And I'm going to see what she thinks about Fabron and Mercier. And then I think we're ready to go make our report. So this is asking about Sergeant Fabron. Watchmen are far from the lawmen they present themselves to be. They're Belcour's private army. Some good folk work there, sure, but they take orders from very bad people. Yeah, again, that's why I quit. Shoot, suddenly the lights of Goblin Market fade as your consciousness is ripped out of the net and back into your physical body. The humming of VR chambers and hushed voices once again heard with clarity. There is movement in the shadows, fading away as you scan your surroundings. The Underdome is calm again. What happened? Oh no, they're onto us. You were lucky again. But will you be next time? You need to be more careful about where you log on. Okay, so I shouldn't have taken that risk, maybe. And we don't have the bioenergy left to finish asking any questions, but we got a lot done. I think we're ready to solve this. So we're gonna go back, I think, to precinct P09. So I'm just gonna stack this in the center. Do you think Ariadna is our secretary, possibly? That would be very interesting. I might pull this card out to ask her about it. Just, I don't know, just a little inkling. Okay, so let's leave. Let's go to the station. I'm going to... Hello again. What can I help you with? As long as it doesn't involve account access. Hey Eva, what do you know about Ariadna? If you need some freelance work doing, she hangs around the Goblin Market chat room. And you should be glad for that. You wouldn't get into our lab even if I wanted to give you access. It's been offline for the last couple of days since the higher-ups blocked the precinct's account. Some say it's a glitch, but personally, I think someone's been misappropriating company money. Well, that's interesting. That's not the response I thought we were going to get from her about this, but that is very interesting. I did it again. I said interesting again. Let's talk to Jean. I'm going to tell her I have the memory core. Her response, Dear Lord, don't show that to anyone else. This recording is dangerous. We need to close this case as soon as possible. Okay, well, let's do it. I'm ready. Solve the case. You were about to try and solve the case and end the game. Are you sure? Yes, I am. Oh, you know how I didn't ask anyone about this whole time? Moreau, our victim. This wants proof that we made Belcour lose money, and I don't know that I have that proof. Oh no. I forgot we needed to prove that he was a bad guy. It says you need to bring solid proof to the Watchmen to have any hope of resolving this matter peacefully. Oh, so it's telling me I'm not ready to solve the case. Okay, so we have to figure out what his deal is. We're gonna have to go back to our apartment to get bioenergy because I want to ask the Faceless about him, I guess. I mean, he was definitely buying things from her, but from the fixer, but we don't know what they were. Shoot, okay. I'm not as ready as I thought. I hope I have time. Okay, so we're going to go home. Oh no, we have a message. You receive a message from Watch Sergeant Mercier. It says, you're running out of time. The search for Moreau will start soon. Okay, it's fine. Shoot, I have to spend an hour recharging. Okay, now I'm gonna go into cyberspace. Okay, hi, Faceless. Please tell me you can tell me something about this guy. Ah, the dead man. He was a good client once. Then he tried to rob us. If he wasn't already dead, we'd be taking steps to kill him ourselves. What proof do we have? We need proof that this guy was losing the money. I'm going back to the Underdome. Oh no. People scurry away as you approach. Tom Bernard is gone. They took him. You hear in the whispers as you look for him, fruitlessly, among the VR chambers. You see Marie Pascal waiting for you. Yeah, can you tell me anything about this dude? Okay, I'll tell you everything. He attacked us, all drugged up. Got some hits in. We hid. Fayed, Corinne's man, tried to fight him, but didn't do much. I injected this Icarus thing I was meant to deliver. Immediately healed, then shot him. Then ran. Okay, so he was using Icarus. I mean, is that enough? Is that enough proof that I just don't know. Of what Moreau did to lose Belcour money. I just don't know if this is enough proof. Oh, here's something interesting. Okay. So I've come to the scrapyard and I've scanned I've used my tomograph to scan Moreau because we need to have proof that he was doing something to lose Belcourt money. So this says the tomograph indicates that aside from the gunshot wound in the middle of his forehead, there are a lot of drugs in his system. They appear to be common street-type stims. And that is special item number 3. So we're going to pull that out. Oh, we saw this symbol in our scan of the scene. Remember when we used our sniffer? Okay, stim sample. Maybe that's the proof. Can we ask Lewis about it? Ooh, okay. So the lawman here was tripping. It isn't enough to lay the blame on him, but he had to be getting his stuff from somewhere. Maybe Dai Lung knows something incriminating. But we don't know how to get to Dai Lung. We just were running out of time, like massively running out of time. Okay, we're gonna go to cyberspace. Yeah, I have a little bit of energy left, and I would like to ask the Faceless about these drugs. Many buy this kind of merchandise, more than you'd think. If you want to buy some later, talk to Dai Lung or go through the owl. Not today, though. I'd prefer you go drug-free for this case. We're counting on you for success. Yeah, but where is Dai Lung? Oh, I'm wasting so much time. How do I find Dai Lung? Raven, help me. Dai Lung, known associate of the Faceless. Tracking, Dai Lung's office located. Thank goodness. Oh, I could have found him so much sooner if only I'd asked my Raven. I'm sorry I forgot about you, Raven. Okay, so he's in G, which is here. Now we're gonna go there and hopefully get the information we need about Moreau to then be able to solve the case. Okay. The clean and proper business district feels strange after your time in the slums. As you follow the directions, you find yourself in front of an unassuming office door. It is guarded by a sleek android nearly twice your size. Okay, so that is character card number 12. Ooh. Ma'am, I'm sorry to say I can't let you past this door. Well, why not, Jin? But I want to talk to Dai Lung. Information will not be disclosed about employers. A visit can be arranged in 3 to 7 business days during office hours. It's not during office hours, so we can't talk to him. We might not be able to talk to him. If we can't talk to him, can we not solve the case? You know what I'm gonna do? I've got a little bioenergy left. I'm gonna try and zap him. Let's see if I can get some information out of him. A concentrated blast of electromagnetic energy instantly disables his electronic brain. Now nothing remains to prevent you from entering the office. Oh yes, I feel so smart. Inside, you find a visibly frightened man glaring at you with one organic and one artificial eye. Don't shoot, he cries. I'm cooperating. The office contains a peculiar mix of interesting objects that might be worth examining more closely. With Jin disabled, you can now search the office freely. Oh, we can search the scene. Okay. Okay. Looks like we've got papers, trash. Is that money maybe? Books, charts. Looks like some graffiti maybe. Computer screens, statue, some Belcourt info, it looks like. What's over here? Window, a little window seat, a sign that says Carpe Diem. What is that, a map? Is there anything else on the floor I missed? Okay. Okay, so we did that. Okay. So we need to pull out what we think we spotted in that scene. Okay, we have a bunch of stuff with that I think we spotted in here. I'm just gonna scan it all and I will let you know what we end up with. The screens show mostly market data, nothing useful. The office computer is secured and the files are encrypted. It would take days to extract anything useful from it. A stack of papers piled next to it catches your attention instead. I think we've pulled that out, yes. So that would be this. So we'll scan that next. An official looking envelope addressed to this office. It's empty, but there's a Belcourt logo stamped on it. Interesting. Maybe it's time to ask around about Belcourt itself. So we already have the Belcourt item. Okay, but papers. You find and pick up a book lying on the desk. It turns out to be Dai Lung's ledger, partially written in some sort of cipher. That's interesting. We're gonna have to ask him about that. And then money. I think we saw money. Paper money isn't very interesting, but this credit chip has potential. Someone with proper equipment might be able to extract a transaction history from it. I think we're gonna run out of time. Oh no, because I have no more energy left to be able to ask Ariadne to run it. Okay, so that's what we found. So I'm going to ask Dai Lung, just stay calm. I'm cooperating. What do you want? Questions? Looking around? Straight up robbing me? Do what you like. I won't stop you. I want to ask you about Belcour. We've made a deal. If you were supposed to know more, the Faceless would tell you. Okay then. How about, what about these papers? Basically the same response. Will he tell me about Moreau? All right, so he was our client, right? And he spent a lot of money with us. Then he started spending company money. I heard it got the precinct's account blocked. Then he tried to rob us. Oh, this is our proof. He's actually lucky it got him killed. The Faceless would have done much worse to him. All right. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. I have to go home and get energy and try and get proof from this credit chip. Although we only have 5 minutes left in the day, so I don't know that I'm actually going to be able to do this. But let's try. Let's go home. Oh, money should be in our evidence. Okay. Yeah, Sergeant Mercier wants to talk to us. Time's up. Return to Precinct A now and present whatever you've managed to find. Quick! You're working on borrowed time. This is going to affect our score a little, I think, just a little. No, I need to go into cyberspace first. I have to. You have no energy. We should recharge, but I need an hour. Oh, no. Oh, it's an hour. Oh, that's so bad. Time's run out. The watchmen are no longer able or willing to postpone direct action. They entered the slums in full force, quelling any resistance with lethal means. They didn't arrive intending to judge some guilty and others innocent. They deemed the entire slum complicit in the death of one of their own. I messed up. However, as they entered the labyrinthine pathways of the wilds and scrapyard, they found the gangers more prepared. You may not have managed to stop what was coming, but everything you found served as adequate warning to some. Bloody battle ensued. Watchmen were forced to fight for every inch of conquered ground, block by bloodied city block. I had all of the proof. I should have just given her the chip. I should have just gone and given her the chip without trying to get it proven by Ariadne. Oh, no. You may have failed. So frustrating. I have all the knowledge, but you have new knowledge. You know of Icarus and Belcour's plans, whatever comes next. You're ready. Shoot. What a mistake to spend the time to try to get more energy, to recharge, to try to get the proof, but I should have just given her the chip and seen if they would have taken that. I scored no points. But we know things. We know. I just didn't know it in time. Oh, so close to getting it in right under the wire. Oh, don't be like me. Learn from my mistakes. Learn from my mistakes. Let's look at the solution. Watch Corporal Pierre Moreau had a drug problem, one too great for his own funds to remedy. He started spending company money on increasingly powerful stimulants provided by an organization run by the Faceless. Unfortunately for Moreau, Belcour noticed the unsanctioned transactions coming from his precinct. They immediately blocked all related accounts, deeming partial paralysis of Precinct P09 as less important than the company losing money. Moreau was left without funds and a dwindling stash. In desperate need of more drugs, he attempted to rob the gangers Marie Pascal and Luc Fayed, accompanied by Lil Phil, during an exchange. It ended badly for him. The gangers were exchanging a batch of next-gen combat stims dubbed Icarus. Fayed died, but Marie's abilities were boosted by the stim. She killed Moreau, and both she and Phil went into hiding. None of those involved were aware that Icarus is a part of Belcour's latest project, an incredibly effective combat drug that renders its users easily trackable by their commanders. Using the gang wars as a testing ground, Belcour seems to be moving on to the next stage of their plan, whatever that may be. And I did not help to stop it. I didn't deliver the necessary evidence, but I did get some other points. I decrypted the core. I got close to being able to decrypt the chip. Marie's alive. Marie can die? Well, she's alive. That's good. I found the core by myself. I learned the details of the Icarus project, but I didn't deliver the evidence, so I only got 28 out of a 100. Yep. So you win some, you lose some. And we definitely lost this one. I'm not even gonna ask you to leave in the comments things that I should have done differently because I think I know what I should have done differently, and I hope you've learned from my mistakes. But I hope you enjoyed this episode of Table for One as we played the first case in the 3-part mini campaign for Chronicles of Crime 2400. I hope you are able to play cases 2 and 3 and finish out the story and solve it for yourself. And hey, now you can play case number 1 and hopefully solve it. Unlike me. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Table for One. If you enjoyed it, give it a like, and yeah, go on and leave me a comment down below. Say something nice, make me feel better about this loss. If you enjoyed this playthrough and would like to see more, maybe some 2-player games, make sure you check out our gameplay series hosted by Monique and Naveen right here on this channel. Also, subscribe and hit the little notification bell so you always know when we have a new episode coming out for you. And don't forget to check out Rodney's How to Play video for the Chronicles of Crime series. Hope to see you in cyberspace, detectives. And until then, thanks for watching.